This is ridiculous. Water. It's terrible, isn't it? Just take what you need. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Take what you need. And let other...
You may have already heard in the news that the county I live in has about 50 data centers or something like that. And they're asking people to start preserving power. On top of that, we're being asked to start preserving water. 50 data centers, at least, in this county. And mind you, our temperatures are about to hit an average of 120 degrees across the state. But you want us to preserve water and power so the data centers can run. And we're going to be the ones fitting the bill for all that power that gets used up. You know what? I am so sick and tired of all of this. I can't.
All right, chat. This is my water supply right now. I don't got much right now. I got to keep collecting a lot of bottles. But as of right now, this is what I got. My water supply. I'm going to keep stocking bottles. Every bottle I see, I'm keep putting water in it. Every bottle I see, water. Keep stocking water in my supply. Look, water. I'm going to keep putting water.
So AI has been growing at a really incredible fast pace, and many people have been complaining about this and how problematic it is in the environment, because a lot of data centers are being built in different places close to people's neighborhood, and they have been complaining about the water consumption. When I first heard people, or a lot of people saying we're running out of water because of these data centers, and this is a real big problem, I really thought, like, wait, is the earth not like literally covered in water? Like, how are we gonna run out of water? Until I found out, okay, they're talking about fresh waters. But before we get right into this video and check them out and see what people are saying about this, I want you to please click the like button. It helps the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video.
A town in Utah has run out of water. A vital well has gone dry. They have no drinking water. They will have to haul it in from another source to their homes. Scary part is that it's not actually just one Utah town, it's multiple. Emory only received about 6% of its normal canal flow, so there's no outdoor watering, and people are dismantling their sinks to collect the gray water. Already in dire straits, the town of Apple Valley lost one of their most important aquifers when somebody drilled the well too deep. Their residents will have to haul water in from an outside source. And Cedar Point has also had empty water tanks for some time. This is Lake Powell. I worked there as a teenager, and the water level was up here. Lake Powell is one of the most important lakes besides Hoover Dam, which is fed by Lake Powell, in supplying water all over the southwest United States to approximately 40 million people. Lake Powell is at a critical low, as is the Colorado Basin. The Colorado Basin is what feeds into all of these towns and cities that rely on water that comes through Utah. Utah has been in a severe drought for years, off and on since I was a child, but this is obviously the worst it's ever been. This issue is so severe that multiple states are now involved in trying to come up with a plan on how to keep water running into their towns and cities, and there's even a plan being executed on a federal level. But the federal plan hasn't been finalized yet. In fact, no plan has from anyone. Farmers and agriculture is especially being affected because irrigation water, which is vital for crops, has not gone out this year and probably won't, with many farmers selling off their livestock because they don't have water. If Utah doesn't start to see more water hitting the Rockies through the summer and in the winter, and the critical lows of Lake Powell and the Hoover Dam, which supplies all this water to all these cities, will be at such a critical low they will not be able to operate anymore. Besides the effects on the environment, up to 40 million people will be without drinking water. This is a concerning issue that needs way more attention, so do some research, spread the word, because if there's ever been a call to action, it's now.
Wait, Oregon doesn't have water? That sounds wild, right? 17 counties in Oregon don't have water. The government is setting up porta potties. What the fuck? So they said it could be between data centers and drought. That's what's coming to us. Get ready. These data centers are on some bullshit. No water for 2 weeks for 17 counties. Damn.
Your water that you use to take a shower, to drink, to do your daily tasks is going to disappear in the next couple of years. Like, I feel like people are not taking how seriously generative AI is for our water supply. Like, our water supply is literally going to run out. You're not gonna have water to drink. You're not even gonna have water to put in your freaking Starbucks that you drink every single morning. Yeah, there's not gonna be water to do that. Because generative AI is so destructive for the environment. It literally uses 39 million gallons of water every single day for its cooling systems. Like, guys, please wake up. Why are you using ChatGPT, Gemini, and other big AI companies in the big 2026? When there are so many more alternatives that are eco-friendly and overall better for the environment. I try not to use AI, period, but if I absolutely have to, or if it's highly recommended, I use EcoGPT, and it's like the environmental friendly version of ChatGPT, and I can show you guys a glimpse of how it works. So the app is called EcoGPT. It uses 10 times less water and energy than big AI companies and plants trees for every 100 prompts. If you don't have EcoGPT already, you're missing out. But yeah, if you like using water, which most people do, well, literally everyone does, then you need to wake up and throw away those big AI corporation apps and switch to EcoGPT.
Polar bears are going extinct. Lions are going extinct. We are literally going to run out of fresh drinking water in a few years, but for some reason, some of you guys still don't care. I don't think that it's a big secret, but for some reason, some of you guys still cannot make the change. Big AI companies like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and Claude are literally drinking 39 million gallons of water every single day. And I am not talking about salt water, you guys. I am talking about fresh water, the kind of water that you and I drink. On top of that, the average data center drinks 550,000 gallons daily. And that's just one. So imagine all of the big AI companies out there. We are literally gonna have no more water. I know that that's really scary, but there is something that you and I can do to help slow it down. The first step is switching to a more eco-friendly AI. The one that I like to use is called EcoGPT. It uses 10 times less water, 10 times less energy, and on top of that, it's partnered with a nonprofit organization called Trees for the Future, planting a tree for every 100 prompts that you ask it. It's time to stop being in denial and make the change.
If you hate our planet, then you can just keep scrolling, but if you care just a little bit, you will stay and watch this video. This is what our animals are starting to look like, and this is also what our environment is starting to look like. Honestly, I don't think it has been a secret, but still somehow, you guys still don't care. We are actually running out of fresh drinkable water, and this is what our water is gonna look like if we don't make the change. Do you want to know the reason for that? It's those big data centers. Those data centers are not only hurting our environment, but they're also draining our fresh drinkable water. ChatGPT alone uses millions of gallons of water every single day for their data cooling centers. And honestly, if we keep going at this rate, it's gonna start to look really bad for us. And if you still want to keep using AI, the least you can do is switch to more eco-friendly versions. I personally use EcoGPT because it uses 10 times less water and 10 times less energy, and it also plants trees as you're using it. If you're not going to quit AI altogether, at least make the right choice.
In a couple years, our water is going to look like this, and our animals are going to look like this, but you don't care. Because if you did care, you would stop supporting big AI companies. ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, no one knows, but ChatGPT alone uses 39 million gallons of fresh water every single day just to cool their data centers. Your human mind cannot even fathom how much ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok use every single day. Water cycle doesn't apply. They're not eco-friendly at all. The more mainstream AI becomes, the more dangerous it becomes for our environment. If you don't want our water to look like this, I recommend you stop using AI entirely or do what I did because I want to continue using AI. Move to an option that is more eco-friendly. Do your research.
So something that I feel like more people need to know, data centers don't actually need water. They need cooling systems, and they're using water because it's the cheapest way to do it. Yeah, data centers, they generate like a shitload of heat, and if the heat's not removed somehow, the servers will overheat and it all stops working. So when people are hearing like AI is consuming millions of gallons of water, we're all just assuming it's like this unavoidable part of the technology, but that's actually not true. And it almost is like worse. They don't need water. They're just doing this for no fucking reason because it's the cheapest option. They need cooling. There are alternatives, and I've wrote a few of them down. There's immersion cooling systems. They can literally submerge servers in a specifically designed synthetic fluid that absorbs heat. There's dielectric coolants that can circulate through equipment without conducting electricity. There's closed loop cooling systems that recycle coolant instead of constantly consuming fresh water. Dry cooling systems that use the air instead of evaporation. I don't know, I could pay people to blow on them to cool them off before wasting our water. Another thing, companies can even build data centers in colder climates to reduce cooling demands in the first place. The technology exists, is my point. The issue is that many of those alternatives that I just explained to you are more expensive. And that's the part that I think is interesting. Yeah, it's interesting they're wasting all the water. What's more interesting is they don't have to waste the water. Ordinary people, we're always told, like, conserve our water, take shorter showers, and water your lawn less, follow drought restrictions, be mindful of your water consumption. Meanwhile, some of the wealthiest corporations on earth are consuming enormous amounts of water because it's the cheapest way to cool their infrastructure. There's a difference between something that's necessary and something being the cheapest option available. When a human uses water, it's because they will die without it. When a data center uses water, it's because somebody in a boardroom ran the numbers and decided it was the most cost-effective cooling method. Who cares about the drinking water? The data centers. And I think that's a conversation that's worth having. Because if water is essential for human life, maybe human beings should have priority access to water before the latest AI model does. Just a thought.
How many of y'all knew that almost the whole country is dealing with a drought right now? Now, according to this report, 45 states are experiencing drought conditions and only 5 states are completely drought-free. And that should scare people way more than it does, because a drought is a whole lot more than it didn't just rain today. Droughts affect people, food prices, farmers, drinking waters, lakes. Not to mention how much water that cities can actually use. And what's crazy is we keep acting like water is unlimited while building more homes, more businesses, and using more resources as if nothing is going on right now. At some point, we have to stop treating climate and water issues like future problems, because if 45 states are feeling this drought, the future not that far away. So my question is, how bad does it have to get before we actually start to do something and take things seriously? Just keep in mind, water is a renewable source, but we're using it faster than it can come back. We gonna be left with nothing, I'm telling y'all.
The Colorado River isn't going to make it to 2027. Why? Because there's 57 data centers right there with dozens in construction. The Colorado River has been in a drought for over 2 decades, 26 years to be exact, and over 40 million people depend on it. Whether it be for agriculture, drinking water, it really doesn't matter. The water is being depleted because data centers are now targeted in that river. And before y'all try to get in my comments pushing the stance that data centers create jobs, you realize that these jobs are temporary, right? These construction jobs literally go away as soon as the data centers are built. Data centers are using 39 million gallons of water every single day and 163.7 billion gallons a year. If those numbers don't put fear in your heart, I really don't know what to tell you. But we really do need to lock in and make some change, because 40 million people are depending on that river. And you're okay with it being destroyed over a data center because you want a microwave answer? Let's be so fucking for real. There's a lot of work to be done, and there's a few things that you can do today to help out. Whether you sign a petition, you protest, you speak out on social media like I'm doing, you think more sustainable about your digital footprint, you stop using ChatGPT altogether and use an eco-friendly alternative like EcoGPT to save on water and resources, or you decide to support your local library and look up why data centers are really an issue. Whatever you choose to do is quite literally your prerogative. We do need to make a change today because the Colorado River is in danger.
Okay, y'all, so this morning after drowning my husband, we went to go wash off, and I went to go, he was like, yeah, why the water smell crazy? And I'm like, what you mean it smell crazy? So I go in there and try to smell the water, and the water smell like, it smell like it has some type of chemical in it. I don't know what it smells, it just don't smell right? So then I get to Googling, like, are they secretly putting data centers in South Carolina? And I found out that a rural South Carolina county quietly approved a $2 billion data center this winter, okay? Marion County officials confirmed that the council signed a non-disclosure agreement which barred their ability to make the data center public. It was called Project Liberty. And yes, this is a rural area where it's majority black people, but they are experiencing a bunch of stuff. And I only went and looking for this because I wanted to know what's the distance. Like if they put a data center somewhere, how far in the surrounding area is affected. Now, it said 0.6 miles up to 2.5 miles will the air be polluted. But I said, how far does the water pollution go? Because Marion County is about 75 miles away from me. So I'm like, what's the water, like how that water thing go? And they said the water can be affected for miles. Y'all need to start checking and seeing what's going on with y'all county, because they secretly putting data centers there, and y'all don't know until y'all affected and y'all have nasty water and polluted air. I'm not saying that's what's going on here where I live at, but something ain't right with this water. Anybody else having issues with their water?
The word sanitary, until you can't flush your toilet, you don't realize how much you appreciate it. The good news have been in Oregon, we have 42 lakes. People are going to need to get creative. It's not if we run out of water, it's when.
As you have heard, like, some people have actually brought out suggestions on things that could possibly be used, you know, other than water, to cool down the heat that these data centers produce. And a lot of people have actually been saying this, like, honestly, like, do we really need AI? Like, why? Like, can we just stop? Like, can we just stop it? So yeah, a lot of people have been against this AI and how problematic it is. After the suggestion that people have given, you start wondering why they are not using, you know, other methods, and it's just literally water. And it's like, why it's not making sense, because if you have other options, I mean, they're choosing the cheapest option and not the expensive one. We're starting to hear so many people talk about drought in some places, and we run out of water, making some people, you know, worry about the water supply. Like, are we going to run out of water or stuff? We're not really going to run out of water. Like, that's just not possible. But we're talking about fresh water, because I mean, if it's being used for something else, then some places might actually not, some people might not have access to it. And this is like something that is very serious. If it's going to get to the point where we have to literally go and beg or jump through hoops just to get fresh water, it's messed up, because this is something that people really need. So if that is like purposely being snatched away, I literally see it as, are you trying to just, you know, murder people? Because if there's no water, what are we doing here? You know, it doesn't make any sense. Because trust me, like, this thing is something that's going to be bigger. Like, there will be more data centers than you can think of, because the demand and the need for it is going to become even larger. Like, it's becoming larger every single day. People are consuming and needing these things. They're using it every single day, every little seconds that passes by. So it's like, when there's more demands, of course there's going to be more that's being done. And if the problem that people have been pointing out, that these things are actually causing, if they are not, you know, handled and managed right now, then what's going to happen? Like, we're going to get to the dangerous part. You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to see what you think about this video, and I'll see you on the next one.